Good evening, good evening, good evening. Come into the Jaye Spot. We're placing your G Spot every Thursday from 6 to 7, giving you real relationship talk, real relationship drama with the best night of your life. Your host, Jay and Simply E, hold on, get ready to enter the Jaye Spot on IntellectualRadio-Com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the best night of your life. Woo! You have entered the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have our honorary co-host on tonight, soon to be NIU graduate,
That's right.
motivational speaker, CEO of Delaware Inc., Amir. Hey, Amir, how are you?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy New Year.
Thank you for having me. Happy New Year to you as well.
Yes. Guys, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. E will be here after our first break. Please do me a favor, you guys. Go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, this episode of the Jaye Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Thank you so much for being a sponsor and being a part and partner of this show. We really appreciate it. Please do me a favor. Tell everybody how they can get in contact with you and how they can place an order, and tell them the status of the orders that have already been placed.
No problem. Yes, follow me on Instagram at Delaware_clothing, and also follow me on Facebook at Delaware Inc. And you can also place your orders. You can just send me a message through Facebook and just let me know what shirt you would like. And the shirts are $25. And also let me know which color, which size, and just let me know. I can hook you up.
And tell them that the status of the orders that have already went out.
So yes, the status of the orders, have been shipped out last week, and also they'll be shipped out this week again as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So yeah.
So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and get right in. First, why don't you tell us, everybody, what's going on with you as far as with this COVID, how COVID is affecting your classes and senior year, and what you got going on?
Well, this COVID stuff I just need to be always is over for us. So yeah. Actually, I'm still home for the semester, still taking classes still, and I am in my senior year, so college, not high school. We're talking about college, and I'll be up out of there in December if the Lord's will. So yeah, so please keep me lifted up, keep me in your prayer, because this is a very important year for me, and I'm coming out with a bang. So yeah, and it feels different not being down there. Especially during my senior year, I would have never, ever realized this about being home and staying home for the semester and not doing anything, no activities, nothing like that. So yeah, it's weird, but hopefully in the fall of August I can return.
Hopefully. So I hope that everything get better. What is your course looking like this semester? How are your classes looking?
Well, I'm taking 5 classes this semester, so I'm full-time student working at the same time, and so I've been taking 5 courses. I only have like a couple major classes left to take. And for those of you who don't know what my major is corporate communications. So I have a couple more major classes to finish this semester, and then in the fall I'll just have to take electives, and then I'll be done. So I need 120 credits to graduate, and right now I have 93. So I'm gonna
All
get
right,
that.
so you there. So class of 2021 in December. So you all, if you all remember how big of a mess I was for me when he graduated from high school, you guys can only imagine how it's going to be for me for college. So I definitely, need, some support, some mental support because sometimes I don't, I be really emotional. Like a lot of times, it's like, listen, no, I don't overdo it. He said I overdo it. He's like,
You do.
you guys, he doesn't
The way
have
she
any type
showed
of.
up and showed out at my high school graduation, yeah, I ain't no telling what's gonna happen for
He never
college.
has any sympathy for me. He always feels like I just do entirely too much. So I'm not paying any attention to him. But just if you know what's best for you, and if you know how I was for high school, again, just you need to prepare yourself in advance because I already know that it's going to be an emotional time. But guys, listen, again, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. So, guys, listen, we're going to go ahead and get into our first hot topic. Now, there was an interesting post that was circulating around in the Grown and Sexy Conversations with Jay group. Now, the post was, it was a picture of a young lady and she had a tattoo on her throat. And the caption said throat machine or something. It was just very, very inappropriate. It suggested that, basically she is doing, her throat is strictly for sexual favors. So my question is, how do you all feel about tattoos? And do you mind tattoos? Do you judge people that have tattoos? Or is it just tattoos in certain places? How do you all feel about tattoos? How do you feel about tattoos? And do you have any or do you want any?
I don't have a problem with tattoos. I mean, I feel like they are very interesting, very nice to look at. And no, I don't have none right now at the moment, but I would like some. And I'm actually at that age where I can go out there and get whenever I want to. So I'll have to think about that.
You all,
But
I feel like that was a jab towards me,
yeah,
but okay.
but I don't have a problem with people that have tattoos. I mean, that's not my concern, and I can't judge people about what they have, So I kind of like them. But
So now, do you mind where they are? Is it a certain place that you would think like, okay, well, you know what? As long as the tattoo is not here, I don't have a problem. Or are you just all around fine with tattoos?
I mean, if you have, I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with people that have tattoos. I mean, now if you have a tattoo on your throat, now I will kind of be a little bit concerned. But other than that, I don't care where you have tattoos at, where they at. I don't care. I mean, I just think they're interesting.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I have tattoos. I have a few tattoos. They're not visible. So I would say, first of all, the first thing I would say is be mindful of where you're getting your tattoos. And I want to speak, to the younger people right now. So if you don't have a tattoo and you're thinking about getting a tattoo, let me just cover some ground rules with you. And let me just tell you some things that you may not know or may not want to acknowledge. Again, first of all, the placing of the tattoo, very important, very important. I know right now you're young and your body is in shape and you just wanting to show off everything. And oh my God, you are about this life and it is hot girl summer and all this and that. Well, let me tell you this, beloved. You may be experiencing your hot girl summer, but just understand that big bloomer winter will be coming your way. So understand you won't always be in your hot girl summer phase or your hot girl summer moment. So just kind of remember that when you're getting tattoos, because you have to understand the older you get and you having kids and just things like this, life takes over. And with life taking over, some of us gain weight. Okay, there's
Yeah,
the
that is
gaining
true.
of the weight. So if you got a tattoo in your 20s and it said hot girl, well, by the time you 40 or 50, all you gonna see is the OT on your arm, and folks gonna be wondering, well, what did it say? Because, and I notice I said, what did it say? Because the H gonna be stretched all the way around here. The girl gonna be out, so all they gonna see is that OT. And let me just tell you from experience, you all, it's just not a good look. Okay, it just does not look good. Okay, it just does not. You have to be mindful. See, if you get, I know some people that got some tigers and some lions and stuff on them in their 20s, and now it looks like, the lion, you, when they first got it, you were able to tell that it's a lion, but now Father Time done kicked in and you like, wait a minute, what does that say? Wait, I don't, wait, oh, okay, I'm confused. So at least if you're getting things like that, at least you can get them in a place where only you can see them. So when you get home and you get out of the shower, everybody doesn't have to see you crying because you reminded of you're not that size, 5 anymore. You're not that size 7. You can kind of keep that, keep those tears to yourself, and nobody has to know what you did back in your hot girl summer phase. Another thing, listen, okay, I understand. Listen, some of us have had this infatuation with the tramp stamps on the back of, in the crevice of your back. See, you got to understand
No,
that
nothing about
your
that.
back may not always be that size. You may later on in life get a bigger back. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with bigger backs,
Anointed
but
back at that.
listen, if you have a back that's like Walter Payton, like the quarterback from the Chicago, listen, that tramp stamp no longer looks the same, okay? And the reason why I can say that is because we all, listen, you all, let's be honest now. We all see them in Walmart when they coming outside to the store and they're in their pajamas and they just done squaz into whatever they can squaz in. And now you see the tramp stamp on her back and you want to unsee what you just saw because it just, it's bothering your stomach. So that's all I'm saying is be mind. You done seen it too. Don't act, you all, if y'all
Y'all
are
might not feel that
understanding.
way, but that's her for that's this woman right here. Y'all might not have experienced that, but she has.
You've never seen somebody in the store with a tattoo and you've been like, "Oh my God, can you cover that up?" Because you can definitely tell that
Mhm.
what it started out at,
I
it is
just
no
I just
longer that.
ignore I just ignore it and I just look at it as nothing. I mean, I just feel like that whatever they had at first and the way they are now, I mean, it's just not appealing. I like whatever that they had just look so out of place, you know.
Right. And that's the thing that
I just
disgusts
don't pay
me.
attention
Like, I'm
to it.
just like, which here's the deal. I have nothing wrong with plus size people, thick people, whatever. Listen, that's not where I'm going with this. What I'm going with is when you're getting these tattoos, listen, you gotta kind of, again, you gotta be mindful because that tramp stamp right there at the bigger at the small of your back, you gotta understand. Sometimes that back will expand because here's the thing, it will expand because of childbirth, it will expand because we eating too much and not doing enough exercises. It will expand for various reasons. So we got to definitely keep that in mind where we're getting these tattoos and what we're getting. Another thing, listen, I know again, some of us go through our thug phase and we want to be about it and we want to get all these tattoos in our face and, get them all on our hands. Hoes pay me money. I hustle hard. All of this, you're getting all of this stuff, getting the teardrops in the tongue and all, whatever you can think of to get put in your face. And okay, again, let me help you out. When it's time to grow up and go out there and get a job, you have to be, you got to be mindful. You got to understand that when you go to shake the person's hand in the interview and they
You
see
see a
that big old
whole
hoes pay me money or hoes owe me,
or a
or
picture of a gun on your
oh,
whole arm.
absolutely, or hole destroyer or something like that. Listen, it's not a good look. You could have had the job up until that point, and then they saw your tattoos, and then they automatically judged you based upon the tattoos. So please refrain from putting those type of tattoos.
Just tatted up everywhere, up the neck and throat and face and hands and all of the other stuff. And they
You
just see
got
all
you
of
got to
that.
be mindful, because again, if you're going to corporate America, if you plan on having any type of job, any type of income, you got to understand that that's going to play a part, and those things are
And this
going
stuff is
to
not gonna be
affect you.
allowed.
And here's the thing, I'll tell you, I have a tattoo on my chest, on my arm, and I do have one on my hand. However, it's very, very, very discreet, so most people don't even notice it. Most people won't even know until, unless I say something. That's most people. Some people are very observant, but for the most part, most people don't notice that I have a tattoo there. However, it's very small and it's very discreet, because again, even though I went through my, back then, what was we doing? We was keeping it on the down low and all that. I did all that, was
Nah,
done,
you was just being grown too fast. That's
yeah,
what you was
I
doing.
was. Don't
You
judge me
almost
though.
got a call.
Yeah, don't
Got
judge me.
whatchamacallit.
Don't judge me. See, here's the thing. This is a product of, the hot girl summers and stuff before it become hot girl summers. This is what happens. Then you 20 some years later, now here you are. But again, when I did get my tattoos, I was definitely mindful, and I knew, I'm like, I know that I'm going to work in corporate America. I know that this here is just a phase. That's one thing about me. I knew that I was very cognitive of what it is that I was doing. So I knew that, listen, okay, I thought the tattoos were cool and everything, but I wasn't going to get them in a place where, it's going to prevent me from making a living. It was going to prevent me from going on in life and being successful and doing the things that I needed to do. So that's all I'm saying, is be mindful of where you put those tattoos. And then listen, you all, look, I know you love him and he your boo and he your bae. I know you love her. But you guys, stop getting these folks' names tatted on
Oh
you.
no,
Stop getting these dudes'
no.
names tatted on you. I said, I got one person's name on me, and that's my son. I said, had I ever had another kid, I was getting the tattoo removed, because I wasn't adding another tattoo to me. So I'm like, well, you know what? To not show favoritism, I'm just going to go ahead and get that one removed, because I wasn't doing that stupid ish again. But if you're getting a tattoo, guys, if you especially listen, do not get your baby daddy's names on you, your baby mamas. And then, listen, let's be honest now, we got some people that got the tattoos. Listen, you got his name all up and through your thighs. Can I tell you? Okay, I spend a lot of time taking my son to the barbershop. So I know that the fellas talk. They don't want to see another dude's name in your inner thigh. Property or Big Rod or John Boogie. Wait a minute. No, 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 no. Now, fellas, please let me know. Maybe
I
I'm
hope
wrong.
not.
But how would you feel if you were with a young lady and you saw some other dude's name tattooed between her thighs?
Oh Lord, I'll just be like, you know what? I'll just get up and like, you know what? Put my shoes on, and just leave on now. That's what I'm gonna do. Start my car up and leave. I might even cry in the car.
I
I'm be
mean,
like, this not for me. I'm like, I don't know whose this is. I mean, it clearly says what's McCollum's property. So I'm like, obviously he still has access to that probably still. So I'm just gonna leave. Pack my stuff up. Maybe get a little sandwich before I leave. And hey, just cry in the car. That's what I'm gonna do.
And listen, guys, I'm telling you, I don't care how old that tattoo is. It's a lot of guys. I'm telling you, I talk to a lot of people getting men's names in your inner thighs, and a man's name on, or man in or woman, getting anybody's name on your body is definitely like, for me, it was definitely a turn off for me. I dealt with one guy that had a woman's name on him, and it was on his arm, and it was always a problem for me, because I'm just like, you know what, it's just it was just something that I could not personally get over. And I eventually just faded back, because again, I'm not, you grown, I can't tell you what to do and how to do it and all this and that. All I can do is know what works for me, and that right there, it did not work for me personally. So again, this is especially to the younger women and the young men. Be mindful of where you are getting those tattoos, because again, it will come back to bite you in your behind. The behind could be small at 20 something, but when it get 40 something and 50 something, that behind don't look the same. It's one behind. You had one behind in your 20s. Now you tugging around 22 something, two behinds in one pair of underwear. So it just is just not a good look. So you got to be mindful of where you're putting those tattoos. And then just for health reasons, it's just like, man, you got to be mindful of, if something ever happened to a family member. I don't know if it's changed now as of today, but back then, if you had tattoos, and especially if they were new, you could not donate blood to a family member if somebody ever needed some blood. And unfortunately, there was a time back then that, my family had a situation and somebody in my family needed blood. And it was about 20 of us up there, and no one was eligible to have their blood taken to see if we were a match, because we all had tattoos. And I think at the time they were saying if the tattoos were younger than 10 years old or something like that, we could not do it. I don't know, were they, profiling us and we couldn't do it just because we were Black? I don't know. But that's what we were told. We were told that none of us were eligible to even see if we were a match for the family member that needed the blood transfusion, because we had gotten tattoos. So again, from the health standpoint, that's definitely something to consider. But again, keep those tattoos out of your face, keep them off your neck and all this other stuff. Keep them off your hands, keep them off of any visible area. And please keep, ladies, because I really haven't seen any men have any crazy tattoos, sayings for women that they belong to women, like, oh, this is Jilly's wang wang. I ain't never seen no dude have anything like that. But women, we will mark ourselves up to prove that listen, let me tell you, it don't matter if you got a tattoo. You can have 12,000 tattoos. They will still cheat. If they don't want to be there, they will still cheat.
With 12 other women, you still got
and
that
now
tattoo
you got his name
still.
on. Now you got his name on you. So it's just like, just be mindful. And then don't be a collector of the dude's names. Like, okay, well, you got Lil Sally right here. So, well, I may as well add to Monk right here and Cleophas right here. Listen, no. Let's just keep the folks' names off of us, and everything will be fine. Because again, you got to keep in mind, when you're doing things in your younger years, you got to be mindful that you're gonna get older. I mean, again, live your best life, live it. However,
and
be
they are
mindful.
doing that too. They living their best life. Hey, they doing any and everything. So when people say they living their best life, that can mean a good thing, and it can also mean a bad thing.
Absolutely.
Now, majority bad, because it's like, it's like they be getting wild. And hey, when they say they living their best life, I'm like, okay, what exactly are you doing by living your best life? I'm doing this and that. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you don't look like you're living your best life too much, but all right.
And it's like, and you just got to be mindful of that best life, because again, you're doing certain things in your younger years, but when you get older,
You're gonna regret it.
you may have to pay for some of this ish that you done did in your younger years, or you may have to face some dire consequences for some things that you did in your younger years. So definitely be mindful. And again, those tattoos are definitely a thing that you will definitely live to regret getting those, especially if you get them in the wrong place. You will regret it. Mark my words. Guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break.
Sure.
And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. So please stay tuned. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
Has always been easy because it's true. Yeah. I would not believe if someone would have told me you would come along to reveal my soul. Cause I was knowing love, my heart had grown cold. So cold. You had good energy, exactly what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where was needed. Not a mirage, what I feel for you. Put that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Oh yeah. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you has always been wonderful, more than you'll ever know. We got good chemistry, go together like love sex. The passion and care we show one another tops all the rest. The feelings I have for you, I ain't felt in so long. What we share together, baby, the bond is so strong. It's no facade of what I feel for you. Put that on God, I got love for you. Yeah, said it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, baby. It's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, it's easy to love, easy to love. Said it's easy, so easy to love, easy to love you. Loving you has always been easy 'cause you're beautiful. Loving you, yeah, is what I search my life to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey E, how you doing?
Somebody please help her with her accent. Please.
The hate is real. She know I like to talk my southern slang to her all the time. But she was on the phone the other day. She was like, make me hang up.
The worst accent. Worst accent.
I'll do what I can. Don't knock my self-improvement. And sitting next to sizzling, sexy, simply E, we have our honorary co-host with us on tonight, NIU Drumline member, CEO of Delaware Inc., class of 2021.
Yes.
Woo! Amir. Hey, Amir, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I always tell him, I don't care what nobody say about him. He all right with me. I don't care what people talk about him and, the things that they say about him. he all right with me. That's all I have to say. I don't, people because they be talking
about you. Is this
Well, I'm glad that makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
Also, quick shout out to my high school, man. Guerin College Preparatory High School, man. Shout out to y'all, man. That's actually my current high school that I graduated from in 2017. Apparently, they are closing down, and they're actually going to demolish my high school. So
Oh.
yeah, so shout out to y'all, Miss Booth, Miss Hayes, Miss Gautier. Shout out to y'all. I really thank y'all for, man, giving me the opportunity, just being there at Guerin. I remember I started off my first year and it was hard, and I felt like that I wasn't gonna, make it through my freshman year. But soon enough, I made it through all 4 years. Student of the month so many times, just so many great memories there at my school, and I've met a lot of great people, met a lot of great friends there, and just made a lot of memories. I did so much there, and I'm definitely gonna miss the school. I'm gonna
And
miss
you
it
know
a
what?
lot.
That's so nice of you to say that because, when he told me that the school was being demolished, I'm just like, oh my God, I felt bad as well because I said, man, I remember it was plenty of nights I slept out there in the parking lot waiting for him to come because, like he said, he was in everything. So I'm just like, there was no purpose in me coming home and getting settled knowing I had to go all the way there to pick him up. So it was plenty of nights. It was just me and the ducks and the geese out there in that parking lot. Just listen, baby, I got some of the best sleep of my life out there in that parking lot, so definitely shout out to Gary. And another thing that he said too, you have to be consistent, you have to be tuned in with your students. It's so much going on, especially now with the COVID and everything. The kids are homeschooling and stuff. I would be an absolute let me take that back because I do struggle already without that. But I would be an extra basket case if I had a school age kid and I had to help do the online.
It's not even with the help. It's more of a do your work. Put the phone down. Amon, put it down. Open the laptop up. It's a constant.
Really?
That way. He'd be like, I can listen to my music and do my work. Do they have music playing in your classrooms? Huh? Do they have music? Is the TV on in your classroom while the teacher's lecturing? No? Okay, then. When that happens, then I'll let you watch TV and have your laptop. But until that day, it happens.
Oh, the little kids with the alphabets and stuff like
E-learning.
that. Oh my goodness. How you make a J? My teacher told me that's like not how. Oh Lord, have like mercy! Because I'm telling you, I know how crazy I used to be when he was in grammar school, and he still was in that phase where he needed help with his homework. I would be like, oh my Lord, I know I'm not gonna make it. Because see, this is some bull junkie right here. I'm about to check out. So that was years ago, and that was just from working and coming home and doing it, but having them little jokers there all day. So listen, my heart goes out. I am praying that everything works out with this COVID bull junkie so you can get these kids back in school, because I know that some of these kids is driving y'all up the wall. But here's one thing I hope y'all have learned. These are the same little people that the teachers got to deal with. So the next time the teacher call you and tell you that Ronnie won't sit down, now you know. So now you got to tell the teacher, listen, I give you permission to thump them up a little bit because that's what I had to do to them to make them sit down at home. So now I know the teacher ain't lying. See, that's when you have those type of conversations.
They don't care, because I was doing the e-learning and doing the e-learning teacher and stuff, and I had parents that I had called the parents, and the parent was like, "Why are you calling me for?" And I was just like, wait, what? You see, you get calls from the teacher telling you that your child is making double screens. I'm telling you your child is making double screens, and you telling me, why are you calling me? The principal has called you and told you how your child is being disruptive and everything.
Oh.
And you asking, why am I calling you? Because your little bastard is being disruptive.
Oh. Yes.
That's what he was. It was a bastard. He was him and his cousin, his mammy and his auntie and his daddy too. They all were bastards.
And see, and again, you gotta be so mindful and just pay attention to what your kids. Because, like I say, your kids. We like to think that our kids are innocent and they're all this and that, but sometimes we just gotta take a minute to remember the spirits that we were. So you gotta understand that you birthed that spirit. So now, before you go calling folks a lie and all this and that, you gotta listen carefully to what was said. Oh, my son wouldn't do that. My daughter wouldn't do that. But then you got to think back. Did you do some ish like that? And you got away with it. And now the spawn you've given birth to, listen, they're doing the same thing. So this one right here, I'm thankful, he was cool, but he liked me. See, we are on the surface. We wasn't on the surface, you will never be able to tell. But see, I'm just like, listen, I know the cloth that you cut from. See, I understand that outside, the world love you. Everybody know. But God knows. Only you and God know that you are spirit.
Really?
He knows. He knows that you are spirit. God knows that you are spirit. And he knew that I gave birth to you. So therefore, I don't sit up there and say, oh, well, my son wouldn't do it. Wait a minute. Let me go to the thinky thing. Okay, let me get back to you on this before. Let me just talk to him and see what's going on, because I can tell if he was lying, because it was a certain thing that would happen with him when he was lying. And I'll give one of the giveaways away. When he was little, he don't do it no more. But when he was little, he would always just like swallow. He'll take a deep swallow before he continues on to what he was saying. And that's just saying that he is trying to get his lie together. Because they say some of the guys, they be a little slow. But I was, like, hey. So, I did. Wait a minute. What are you and all? Hey. I know you did it. So before you get the line, what you said don't even make sense.
He didn't do it.
What he be saying then his little reasons and stuff didn't even make sense. Like, it's so many times. Let me tell you, he done lost his phone, got his phone stole, all kinds of stuff. And
that never happened.
And the stories that he would come back with, I'm just like, now this one right here must think that I am boo-boo. I was born last night. He come back with this. That's the best that you got.
He lost his phone.
No, I ain't going.
But that was back in high school. Like I told you, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I told you what had really happened. I told you, I think one of my teachers had took my phone back in high school, and I forgot, and I never went back to ask her for my phone.
Right,
so
but that was a lie. But see, the lie that he told me. See what I'm saying?
Because I remember telling her that my phone had got stolen, or I put it on the side of my book bag and somebody took it. I don't even think those was even none of the truths. I think my teacher had took it because it had went off during class, and I don't think she never gave it back to me.
And guess who bought him another one? Not me. I'd say, listen, I told him, listen, you lose it gets stolen, it get took from the teacher. I don't replace. I'll buy it once. I don't replace. So whatever happens when you get it, I'll crack the screen. Sorry to hear that stupid ish.
I've been through like 5-6 phones, to be honest.
And ask them who bought them. I'll buy the one. The one time, sometimes
she only bought 2 phones for me, and my first phone I got when I was in grammar school. I think I was like in 6th or 7th grade, and that was my first phone. It was like a basic phone, a little cricket phone or whatever. I had that phone for like so long, and then I had another phone, which is a touch screen phone. My godfather, he got me that phone, so he probably bought me like 3-4 phones, and then beloved Junior over here bought me a waterproof cricket phone, and I had that in high school, and I ended up losing, or the teacher ended up taking it or whatever. Then I was out of luck, and then I was still stuck with the basic cricket phone. Then I moved up, start get my first iPhone, and then so that's where we currently are right now.
So parents, when you are going out and getting these phones and things of that nature, please don't feel obligated to go out there and buy the most expensive gadgets, because here's the thing. He's talking about the basic phone. I'm like, okay, we're here. In life, we have choices. We have options. The option is you can get the basic phone or no phone. It does not make one nair difference to me. Basic phone, no phone. You choose. Listen, let them use you however you want to. And he knows that that's how I always was. I'm like, listen.
Yeah, she was. I feel bad for you. I feel bad for some of y'all. Y'all do not want this one to be your mother. I'm telling you right now. Please.
Over to that one.
Please do not. Because it was a struggle.
Because listen, I'm going to sleep good every night.
Taking my gifts back to the store from Christmas and stuff. Please, you do not want to be this one. Be this mother's son right here. Please. I'm begging you. I'm leave it at that.
Listen,
take gift back.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain the gift taken back to you all, just because this could help some of you all.
She told y'all before.
Save some money.
This could help some of you all.
This is going to help some of you all. So, it's past Christmas. Christmas have come and gone. Mm-hmm. Now, if you notice, you go in your kid's room and you notice that there are still some toys that you bought for Christmas and they're still in the boxes, or some of them may still even be wrapped up in the Christmas gifts, in the Christmas wrappers. Those are the gifts, beloved, that you can take those gifts and take those gifts back to the store and get your money back, because it's clear and it's obvious that they don't want those gifts. They were excited to see them all under the Christmas tree. But in reality, they don't want them. They're not going to tell you verbally they don't want them. That's why you got to watch them. And if they're still in the box, that means that they don't want them, beloved. Hopefully you've kept your receipt. Take them back, get your money back. Listen,
if they're still in the box, she's still in the box. I'm just letting you know.
Listen,
she been watching ever since.
I
come the next day, they ain't there. I'm figuring out who stole my presents. No, they back at the store now. I could have opened them, all of them. I could have played with them. 3-4 months later, you never even knew that.
Oh, not on my dime, you wasn't. If you didn't play with him right
away,
if he didn't play with him right away,
that's like one of those people you get home and then you don't finish something, you put it in the refrigerator and you say, I'll get to it when I get to it, and then someone comes along and they eat your stuff or drink your stuff up, and then you're like, where's my stuff at?
Okay, he does me like that.
Well, good. You deserve it. You keep on eating her stuff, baby. You deserve it because you done took this baby's presents back. You bought them for him, and then because he didn't play with them when you wanted him to play with them, you decided to take it back to the store.
No, the gifts were a trial. Those were a trial run.
That's not what that
don't mess
said.
With my food.
It don't say nowhere on the Christmas thing. This is a trial run, sweetie. So the Santa Claus brought you this. No, I brought you this present, and if you don't play with this within the first 5 days, I'm taking this back to the store. That's that was
the trial run on the receipt is the return by date. That's the trial run. So if they haven't played with it or opened it by then, and my thing is,
so you just pretty much put an expiration date on the stuff that I play with and that I don't play with.
Very much so. And I was watching him like a hawk. I'm just like, okay, well, I'll take this back, take that back. And guess what? All was well with the world because he didn't know that he didn't start noticing that until he got older, and then he'll be looking for certain things. But the thing is, don't come in June asking me, have I seen your wrestling man? What or the wrestling belt or the? I'm like, dude, I done been took that stuff back to the store. What is you talking about?
Be proud of it when you say it too, and she be proud of it too. Don't tell me nothing, then I got to figure out for myself that it's gone, that it been gone. Y'all see that? Don't make no sense.
Listen, I'm just like, look, don't come 6 months. Now, how would you guys feel? Facebook, listen, if your kid, they didn't play with the gift and then they come back 6 months later asking you what happened to their toy.
I don't touch their toys. I remember I bought Naima a Power Wheel, a Jeep.
Girl, that was good. Ooh.
He played with it that day or whatever when we got it or whatever. And then he would ride it around every now and again, but it wasn't like it was an everyday thing that he played with. And I probably spent like $300 on it.
Yeah, them big old, I know.
And I was like, it didn't faze me because I was happy that, you know, he got his a gift. He was happy with it. Noni had her doll. She was happy with it. Keep your stuff.
Not me.
Take their stuff
I
back.
would have disconnected that thing, disassembled it, and took it right back to the store. That's what I would have done. So that's just me.
Watch out. I'm telling y'all.
Yes, please watch. So watch your gifts. So parents, this is the perfect time. This is January the 14th. Oh, want to definitely say happy birthday to my little brother, my little big brother, Lionel. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Lionel, and happy birthday to my uncle Dunn. Happy birthday, guys. I hope that y'all enjoy. But yeah, Lionel, that's my little big brother. He think he be bullying and running something. Right. He think he run things, but he don't. But definitely happy birthday, you guys. And happy birthday to everybody else that's in the groups, that's on the page that is your birthday today. Happy birthday to you guys. Listen, we're going to take a short musical break. Sure. And when we return, we're going to get into our next hot topic. So stay tuned. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
I get so lonely, can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. You don't ever wanna spend some time. I want your love in every drop of a dime. You see me calling, you should come running. Quit all that stalling, my body's calling. I got downtime, out of time. This could be so perfect for one hell of a night. He got a secret ease, Henny calling my club. I just wanna slow this on you, baby. We can turn it up. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, cause I get so lonely. Can't let no anybody love me. You are the one that lives in me, my dear. I should never feel lonely. Lately your love has been on my mind. Obviously busy, I wanna unwind. Fantasizing, thinking about you. Imagine all I could. Anticipating is about to go down. I get so lonely. Don't leave me waiting for you. I get so lonely. You had your chance, no second chances. This love I have is not for play. Under no circumstances, I'm in need of romancing. Pick up the phone, cause I get so
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, sizzling, sexy, simply E, author, actress, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey E, how's it going?
I was wonderful.
Good. I'm gonna come up with another accent just for you.
No, don't do that.
Yes,
don't do that.
I'm gonna try a Russian accent for next week. So I'm definitely gonna work on that. But sitting next to sizzling, sexy, simply E, we have our honorary co-host, NIU drumline member, class of 2021, but more importantly, CEO of Delaware Inc. Amir. Hey Amir, how are you?
How you doing, Ms. J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem for having.
We really appreciate you being here. We really appreciate it. And don't be telling people I done took. Well, you can tell them I don't care. I was on.
I'm gonna tell it.
See, this is
Tell
what I'm
it on
saying.
the mountain. That's what they said. That's what I'm gonna do.
You all, this is why I ask you,
Hey,
please
Andre.
check on me, because I only had one, and I know that I'm gonna be somewhere in some facility without a room with a padded jacket on, because he already looks at me like I just, it's like I have things going on that I need help with mentally. And I really don't. Again, I still haven't gotten adjusted. Like, I would be talking to myself. I talk to myself. I like to talk to myself. And I don't like when he interrupts my
That's
conversation.
why she needs an inspector guard up in there with her while she just sitting up there talking to herself. And I just want him to say, "Yep, you still at it still, huh? See, this is why you're here right now, Miss J. This is why you're here."
And see, I don't need, and that's what I don't need. Like, let me have my conversations in peace, and I'm gonna be okay. Like, I don't need, he'll come and he'll touch me on my shoulder, he'll just look, and he'll be like, "Yep, you at it again, right? You doing that? See, that's the stuff that's gonna get you
some blood in you.
I know.
Girl.
I
What's
told you,
wrong with you?
I'm cold. That's why I always need the heat on. Leave me alone. Do not start.
Oh my gosh, her little tips, her little fingers touch me. It's no heat in you.
I'm cold.
You
I stay
dead inside.
I know. I love every bit of it. I love every bit
Hey,
of
BL Mac.
it.
Hey, Sarita.
Hey, BL Mac. Hey, Sarita. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, please do me a favor. Go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, this episode of the Jaye Spot is being brought to you by Delaware Inc. Dale, tell them how they can place an order. And next week, you said your shipments have went out already for next week?
The shipments already have went out this week. And yes, follow me on Instagram at Delaware_clothing and follow me on Facebook at Delaware Inc. Yes.
Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, listen, okay, it's been a lot going on the Jaye Spot. Pillow Talk with Jay, grown and sexy conversations with Jay. You guys listen, and all the other groups that we are a part of, thank you so much for rocking with us. Thank you guys so much for allowing us to share our platform with your groups, and I thank you guys for just supporting us. Listen, this question, because I really don't I really don't know how people could do this, but guess what? You know what? They're doing it. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer somebody to just ghost you, or would you prefer for them to tell you that it's over with? Which do you prefer, ghosting or to be told that it's over? And which is your method that you prefer to use? Do you prefer to ghost, or do you prefer to tell them?
I do both now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do both. If I feel like you ain't really, feeling me, and what's the point of us, BSing and wasting each other's time? I'm gonna just pull on back, and we both grown, so you'll figure out, okay, she must not be interested. And then if you haven't figured that out, because some people aren't bright, so if you haven't solved that, I pull out and fell back or whatever, and you ask me, why can't we talk? Are we going to talk some more? I'm like, you know what? I'm just not ready to be in a relationship. I really won't say I'm just not ready to be in a relationship with you. I'll just rather say I'm just not ready to be in a relationship. But the truth is, I don't want to be in a relationship with you.
So now, do you ghost the person that you're just dating, or do you ghost the person that you've been in a relationship with?
If I'm in a relationship with you, I'm not going to ghost you.
Okay.
I'm going to just dump you.
Gotcha. Right.
But if it's somebody where I'm talking to, we're not even at the dating phase yet. I'm talking to get to know you, whether or not I want to even go on a date with you.
Right.
So if we're in that still talking phase and it's just not, it's a waste of time talking to you, I'm going to just, let me fade back.
And I think that part is understandable. Have you ever been ghosted?
Well, I think probably once. I usually do the ghosting or the dumping. So it's probably like I do. I just be like, dump, birthday time.
Oh
Get ready to
God,
get your ass
you were
dumped.
so notorious for that.
But birthday
Lord.
dumper.
Are you back on that birthday dumping?
No,
Okay,
I'm
good.
good. I'm a
Good,
nice
good.
girl. I'm good.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Amir? What do you is ghosting? Do you prefer to ghost or do you prefer to tell somebody? And have you ever been ghosted?
And to be honest with you, if I'm talking to somebody, I'm not gonna ghost them. It depends on how long we've been talking, and like if we getting somewhere, like dating wise, and like things are going well. I'm not gonna ghost you, but it's like if you just a nobody and we ain't going nowhere, and I don't know where the conversation, I don't know how long we've been talking, I might ghost you. Just simple as that. And yeah, I have been ghosted before. Do I like it? No. Was it hurtful? Yeah, but I moved on though.
I know that's
Shoot,
right.
I didn't have people done remove me off Snapchat, remove me off Facebook, everything. And I'm like, some people done told me that they want to get back together with their ex. I'm like, hey, have it. I don't care. Do what you gonna do. Just don't come back this way because if you do, it's not gonna be pretty. And I'm gonna block you on everything. It's gonna be over for you. So don't come back. Oh, he did me wrong. Oh, you still want to talk? Still? No, it's over for you. You should have thought about that before you brought up your little funky little eggs. Now you want to come talk
Yes,
back
act
to
like
me?
your mama.
No, you
Yes.
over it. You over it now.
Do me proud over there. Act like your mama, your funky little ex. Do me proud. I promise you, I love it. See, this means I have done my job. When you see them acting like you, because that's definitely
Terrible.
that's definitely something I would say. Your funky little
Terrible.
ghosting. God, I mean, Lord have mercy. Let's see what they're saying first of all on social media. They're saying, "Hey Jamar, how you doing? Happy New Year to you." Sarita is saying, "Man or woman up and tell." Sherry is saying, "What time frame of dealing with someone would you ghost someone?"
That time, it all depends. Like, because I've talked to somebody for like 3 weeks to a month, and if it's just a sporadic talk, like you'll hit me up here and then I don't talk to you for another 2 or 3 days, and then when you think about, you'll hit me up again, and I may text you back, whatever, but then I see the same little pattern, and then if I call you, it's dry on the phone. That just tells me, okay, you know what? Let's fall back, and so I'll fall back, and because that's happened, and the dude had hit me up again after or right before New Year's. I ain't respond. What do you want? You don't want a relationship. You don't want to talk. So what do you want? You want somebody to play phone tag with? I'm too old for that.
Now, Jamar is saying, "I'm straightforward. I might water it down to spare their feelings, but I'm not a fan of ghosting. It just makes for awkward run-ins later on." Absolutely, Jamar.
That'll make awkward.
Yes, it does.
You say,
And
hey.
Sherry is saying, "Have you ever dated someone who ghosted you?" I've been ghosted.
I try to believe this. I'll be like, oh,
I have been,
okay.
and I was ghosted after in a relationship, not a dating ghost. It's just like it was just a relationship ghost,
That's
and
okay.
I was
He's
just like,
short. He's still short.
I was just like, oh my God, like it was the most crushing thing.
Yeah.
Like it was really hurtful because I'm just like, Dig, you didn't think enough of me to just tell me. Like, it's not the fact that you don't want to be with me. Just tell me. I'm just like, okay, as much as I talk, I listen. There's plenty of, and my thing is this, I give you, listen, there's ample. I like to do check-ins, like how you doing, how we doing, we still on the same page type of, I like to kind of do those type of conversations, just little check-ins, just to just make sure we still on the same page. So when I was ghosted, I was just like, man, I was just like, that really threw me through a loop.
I could have kicked him
but
off.
I'm just like, okay, well, I see what it's about, and I see how, especially it's like you keep doing it over and over and over again. It's like, okay, that's just your pattern, and that's just how you do things, and I'm okay with that. I'm good on it. I'm not set up for these type of situations. I'm just like, if I don't want to be bothered or I don't want to deal with you, like Jamar was saying, I would water it down.
But I don't know if that's a man thing.
I would want to ghost.
To ghost in the relationship.
Yeah, I don't
think
know.
that's a man thing. Like, I've never ghosted in the relationship.
To me, that's new. Like, I've never experienced that until like being good and grown. But like in my early years, I'm like, I'm thinking that's something new. Like, you would think that when you're younger, that's a move that you would make. Thing. But I mean, I guess I don't know. But people have their reasons. But I just would prefer. I've never ghosted anybody, but I do water down, like, because again, just because I don't want to be with you or it's not working out between us doesn't mean that I have to totally mess you up for the next person. So I would definitely try to water down the breakup so that like Jamar was saying, if we run into each other, it'll still be cool. We won't have any awkward, because
it'll be awkward. I'm gonna say hi if that's, if there's no restraining.
Man, because I'm like, hey, the one guy, I'm just like, I was fine, but he stuck his middle finger up when I said, yes, I did. I can't say which, because there's only one person that fell into that category, and then you don't know who it is. But I'm just like, okay, I thought that we were cool, because you didn't try to get back with me. I didn't try to get back with you. Like, I did call it off, no doubt. But I would flip you off too. I feel like, I know you ain't talking to me. But did he pay for the stuff too? No, listen. Man. But again, I thought that suing you. Girl, bye. So, but it's like, did you give him the ring back? I never had the ring. I never took the ring. I never had the ring. Oh, so you're going into details. I did have the ring. So I did not, but I'm just like, I prefer to have clean breakups, because I'm just like, just because you're not together doesn't mean that you have to be enemies. So I'm like, again, you never know who you're gonna cross paths with again. So my thing is, it's not that serious to be ghosting, especially like if you we good and grown. Just like, tell me you don't want to be with me. I can take it. I'm like, okay, I wear big girl drawers. You can catch me in the extra, extra large section over there. I got them. What? Oh, don't stay in. Don't try to come in my section. I'm over. Listen, don't try to come in my section. Can take it. So if I'm like, you're not feeling me, then just tell me, and I'm okay. I will be okay. But the ghosting part, I just feel like that's just totally unnecessary. And wait, we have Sherry. She said, would you ever rekindle a ghost situation? Be very mindful if you do, because if they've ghosted you once, they probably will keep ghosting you. And it's like, you'll always have that in the back of your mind. Like, are they going to keep doing it? Or will they do it? Will they do it again? I wouldn't trust you. And especially if we're in a relationship and you ghost me in the relationship, then I don't trust you. And if I take you back and you've ghosted me, and 9 times out of 10, I'm about to play some games with you. I know me. I'm gonna just be like, for real, you want to be back with me? And I know that you didn't ghost us. Oh my God, you'll be with me only when you see me. Trust. See, I'm like, I'm not even gonna go through all of that. I'm like, if I get back with you, then I'm gonna get back with you on the give you what you give me. On the instance of we're gonna try this again, but I would not be able to put my all into it, because I'm just like, okay, I'm scared now, because it's like, now you've created something in me that wasn't there, because now I see what you're capable of doing. So it'll definitely take some time to rebuild that trust in that area, because it's like, okay, that's devastating. It's like, that's not something that's easy to deal with. And then, you know what? Some people do it because, they think your ego or your pride. I'm like, well, here's the thing. I'm gonna always bounce back. Now, listen, don't never think that, hello. Don't never think that, honey. Listen, I may be down, but I'm not out. Listen, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna respect the situation. I respect it, and I'm loyal until I'm loyal to myself. I'm loyal to I'm loyal. I'm loyal. I'm not a cheater. I'm not gonna sneak around. I'm not a tit for tatter now, because I done did all that, all that back in the day. And I realized it don't get you anywhere. It's like, you don't feel any better. You don't feel. So it's like, what's the purpose? I don't have the time or the energy nor the desire to do things like that anymore. But just know, I'm like, I'm gonna be all right. It's like, okay, you ain't checking for me. And I just look at it like it's coffee. I may not be your cup of coffee. I like my coffee a lot of cream. Lord have mercy. Now I started adding.
She like her cream with a little bit of coffee.
I started adding whipped cream to it.
It's already got. It's already cream.
Oh,
it's all cream. It's warm cream with
whatever y'all do. Don't get no coffee. Well, please don't.
It's warm
please
cream.
Don't
anyway, so everybody drink their coffee a different way. So I may not be your cup of coffee, and guess what? If you tell me that, I'm woman enough to respect that and accept that, and I'm good. Like, you know, so you ain't gotta ghost me. Just tell me, listen, Jamala, look, you know, it didn't work out. I'm not gonna go doing all that drama. I'm gonna pack my ish up. I'm like,
bleaching people clothes.
I'm like, I'm not doing. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that. So I personally tell me, don't ghost me. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Hey Darcy, how you doing? Hey Jesse, how you doing? Valerie, she's saying I wouldn't trust them not doing it. And she's saying exactly. Darcy is saying, hold on, wait a minute. Ghosting, let me go GI that term. I'm old school. Ghosting, Darcy, is when you're talking to somebody and then they just disappear. Mm-hmm. You don't hear from them again. They stop returning your text messages. They stop answering your calls. They just totally disappear. And you're like, wait, what happened?
I thought we were doing great. Everything was going fine. And then you just... they do the fallback route. So you're like, wait a minute.
Right. They just totally disappear.
And you all haven't had no arguments.
No arguments.
Nothing. Y'all just talked.
And y'all you like, just stuck. You
like, what the heck?
You like, oh my God, like what in the world is going? And here's the thing. When you're ghosted, you trying to, it's like it doesn't automatically click. It takes a while to click that. Oh my God, they've ghosted me. Like, you know, I'm not gonna blow your phone up. I'm gonna text you 2-3 times over a course of a couple of weeks, and that's it. You're not gonna get no long, and then I'll seal it with my goodbye. And I recognize what this ish is. I'll seal it with that, and I'm okay. You will never hear from me again. I'm not stalking nobody's pages. Mm-hmm. I'm not riding to nobody. I don't do that. I will return the ghost. I'm not even gonna ghost. I'll act like I never existed. And this is how that will be. I'm like, you can act like I've never existed. No,
you're gonna remember me.
We're good. No, you can act like you ghost me. Just act like I never existed. Just act like this whole thing never existed. You move on with your life, and I'll move on with my life, and everybody will be happy. But ghosting, I'm just not a fan of ghosting. I would just prefer to just listen. Just look, I can't do this anymore. Blame it on me. Say it's my fault. I'm that type of breaker. You can blame whatever you want to say. Just like I told them, what am I supposed to tell them? You can tell them whatever you want to tell them. You can say whatever. I really did. I'm like, listen, you can tell them whatever you want to tell them.
No.
You can tell them whatever.
Use that one because you know. Well, no,
you can tell. You can tell them whatever Torrance, you want to. I didn't care. I'm just like, I'm free. You're free, and everything is all good. And man, this has just been a great experience.
So the ghoster is telling you what to say to the people that when you ghost them, is you can tell them whatever you want. That's what you're saying. Ghoster?
No, I'm saying when you breaking up, when you watering it down.
You didn't water it down.
I did. I didn't ghost them. I told them that it was over with. Then you say, what am I supposed to tell people? Then that's what I said. You can tell them whatever you want to tell them. I don't have I've told you what it is. You can decipher it to these people however you want to decipher it. I just did my part with you. I don't owe anybody else any explanations. But as far as me and you, I've told you. That's probably what got me the middle finger. But, hey, you live, you learn. But if you out here ghosting folks, man, listen, it takes you 30 seconds. I can't do this anymore. If you're not strong enough to have a verbal conversation, but would you dump somebody over? I don't know. I'm scared over a text message. I'm scared to even ask you. Or inbox, a Facebook inbox. It's over with.
Have I? I've dumped on the voicemail because they wouldn't answer the phone. I knew it was coming. That's what I can't stand. You know it's coming. Quit playing. You know, that's one thing if you just didn't expect everything is going great. But you know that things are not right. You know you want some bull. And that's why I dump you. Because you want bull. I don't be dumping you just because you're a nice guy. Well, guy. So sort of kind of, you know. As in my adult life, stuff that I did in teenage life, that was, you know, you can't charge me on that one. That was high school and stuff. But in my adult life, I haven't dumped a guy because they was nice. I probably dumped them because their penises was little, or it was way too big. Or sorry, baby, I'm so sorry, Kylie. Why you gotta be here? He grown, but you know, this is like my baby too. But I just, you know, I'm not gonna do that. You know,
how do you prefer to break up with somebody, Amir?
Well, I'm just give them a long story now. So I ain't gonna do all of that. I'm just tell them, you know, it's not working out too well. I need to focus on me. I don't think we meant for each other, and I think we should depart ways.
You know, let me tell you guys something. He makes me so sick. I can't stand when he breaks up with somebody because I'm just like, dang, just like, but you know what? It's helping me to understand how men operate because I see, and that's what helps me.
Hey, listening to The Weeknd made me feel a whole lot better. Hey, I don't care. I'm just keep on. I'm gonna take my stuff and I'm gonna move on. That's what I'm gonna do.
He helps me to see how men deal with the breakup. He be up in there playing the game. I'm asking him, well, have you talked to? For what? Well, I'm like, oh my God, you just been talking to this girl for months, and then it's like
we do want to try to be that friend routine, you know,
right? And it's like he's not faded, and so that his attitude towards it, and I see how he reacts when I ask him about them. I'm like, oh, I don't want nobody feeling like that about me. I'm definitely gonna stay gone and just not even, or he'll get disgusted like if. What is she calling for? I'm like, what excuse? I'm like,
now see, this is for an example. Somebody texted me yesterday. Some girl that, God, I don't even talk to her like that no more. She wasn't even all of that. She was just ugly. I'm just point that out just like that. She from she's from Rockford.
Don't give
and
all the
you need to stay.
please.
You need to stay there too because my godfather said that's what Portville. That's what she's from, and she best not need to come back my way no more. She texted me yesterday. She was like, hey, I didn't know who it was because the number just popped up, and I was like, sup, and then I was like, who this again? And that's what I said, and she responded by saying, oh, you got too many H's for me, and I was like, excuse me, you say what? And then she was like, it's such and such, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then so I'm just giving out these boring conversations and stuff like that. I'm like, well, what do you want? We stopped talking a while ago. I'm like, what do you want? Go back over there to your bombish dude and don't text me no more because we ain't got nothing to say to each other. And I left it at that.
And this is what helps me if I get a weak moment, just his reaction towards things. I'm like,
and then she gonna say something. I was just texting you to see how you doing. I'm doing well. You ain't seen me on the news. You ain't heard about me on the radio, so I'm good. What do you want?
See, this is what I'm saying right here. This is why this helps me, guys. But listen, we got Jessie. She's saying, I've ghosted someone, but it was my own insecurity that led to it. I just knew I wasn't ready for all that he was, yet it was hard to say so. And then Darcy is saying, just leave me be. That's some crazy-ish. Absolutely. It's like, man, it's so crazy. All of this stuff. Again, just tell me, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to lay it out flat. I may not, I'm not going to be cold-hearted about it, but I'm going to definitely lay it out flat. But guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break.
Short.
And when we return, we're going to tackle one last hot topic, and then we're going to get into our topic for tonight. Should you give ultimatums? You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time.
I don't know what you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20-piece. Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. Oh, no. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Put your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done. When you put that clothes on, why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Yeah. Everything in me telling me I'll let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your body, got not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Nails done. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? It's something about you. When you put your clothes on, why you gotta look so good? When you're waking up straight out of bed, girl, why you gotta look so good? Oh, when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl, why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up, why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting them, won't wanna know why you gotta look so good. Put your hair down and your nails done. When you put the clothes on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
And they're down. Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay.
Here you go. I couldn't even.
And sitting next to me, we have my co-host, my partner in crime, Sizzling Sexy Simply E. Author, businesswoman, playwright, sex kitten. Hey E, how are you?
I'm well.
Good. And sitting next to Sizzling Sexy Simply E, we have our honorary co-host on tonight, NIU Drumline member, soon to be class of 2021 college graduate, NIU, CEO of Delaware Inc., Amir.
Yes.
Hey, Amir, how are you?
How you doing, Miss J?
Good, and you?
I'm doing great now.
We
You
wanna
already know what
thank
I'm about
you
to say.
so
Why are you
much for
talking like
joining
that?
us.
She had a
We
cookie.
want to thank you for joining us
She gonna
on
cut you
tonight.
off.
We really thank you, this young man, and we ask that you please go to his website. Tell him your website, your information, how they can get in contact with Delaware Inc., which is our sponsor for tonight's show.
Yes.
Delaware Inc., tell them how they can get in contact with you, love.
Yes, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Delaware_clothing. Follow me on Facebook at Delaware Inc. And I want y'all to please raise a special offering so that I can get this this place, so I can put beloved Junior, and please, I need a special offering for y'all. So if y'all can donate anything, and just send it to me so we can raise that place up for her, so we can put her in there.
Y'all
Please.
see how he do me? See,
you
you
want,
see
I
how
know.
see how he do me.
I need to check into the nut house anyway. I can just go ahead and just say that she me. I ain't gonna know.
Y'all see how he do
Yeah,
me
you
after
check
all
ID.
of the stretch marks, and he the reason why my tattoo has expanded on my arm and on my
I had
chest.
nothing to do with that.
And he
I'm
does
telling
me
you, I ain't
like
got
that.
nothing to do with that.
But guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, go to our page and like our page at the
Jaye
Jaye Spot.
Spot.
Also follow us on Twitter at Jaye
Jaye
Spot.
Spot.
Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, listen, this next hot topic. Okay, the question goes like this: the man is court ordered to pay child support. So he decides that instead of giving the mother the money, he decides to go to the store and buy the equivalent of what he was supposed to have given in cash, Pampers and milk and things of that nature, that totals his child support payment. Is he wrong for that? What do you guys think about that? So he did not give the mother the cash as he was court ordered to do, but he did go to the store and he's buying the kids the things that the money he's court ordered to buy things for that. Is he wrong for that? What are your thoughts on that?
No. I mean, just let me know what you get and everything so I know I don't have to get it. So that'll just, save me on the other side. So no, I'm cool with that.
What about you, Amir? What do you think? Do you think he's wrong for that if he's court ordered to pay the child support, but he doesn't give her the physical cash, but he does go to the store and buy the baby things that the baby needs that is the equivalent of how much he was supposed to have given her?
I mean, no, I feel like he did what was right. I mean, he didn't have to give it to her physically. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. So, I mean, I think that he handled that situation very well. I mean, why would you give the woman cash? I mean, ain't no telling what you gonna do with that money. I mean, you buy the stuff that's necessary with your money, and then hey, you drop it out to her, she can come get it. That's
Now, while the theory is cute,
This one, boy.
this is it. The theory is very cute.
Takes this one.
However, fellas, listen, I would not advise that. And here's why. It's court ordered. So
You asked us, was he wrong or right for doing it?
and I think he's wrong because here's the thing. It's court ordered. See, if it's court ordered, the reason why I say he's wrong is because you're disobeying the law. Now you're not doing anything but bringing trouble and heartache and pain on you. That's why I say he's wrong, because you're not it. You had the right intent. I say if you would have said, was my intentions good? Yes, your intentions are good. However, your intentions is going to cause you to have some arrearages on your child support. Your intentions are going to, because she not going to tell the court that you, instead of giving her the $200, you brought $200 worth of baby supplies. She's not going to tell the court that.
She has an issue with him, honestly.
And the court is going to be like, okay, here's the thing. That's not what we ordered. That's not what you were ordered to do. You were ordered to pay her. We didn't ask you, because if you wanted to go buy some ish, you should have been buying this ish before y'all came here and sat before me. Then, that's the time to do all of that. So don't try to, one up and pull it. Listen, if you can avoid going to the child support court and you can work out these type of agreements beforehand, these type of agreements are definitely ideal. This is what you should be doing. Like, okay, well, I'm not going to give you the money. If she agreed, then, listen, I'm going to bring X amount of Pampers, wipes, and whatever it is. Let that be y'all agreement. But that's not what y'all agreed upon. You went before court. Y'all both signed off on that court order document. And so now you sitting up there. So now that's a tick against you, because it's not counted. The court didn't receive your payment. They tallying up that interest. Now I'm like, all right, he done missed this one payment. That's going to be considered a one payment. And even if she did say, okay, I'm going to call the court and I'm going to tell them, guess how long? In Illinois, that takes a long time. It takes 6 to 8 months just for them to process an update on the phone call. And that's if they even do it right. They'll have you coming back down like, okay, listen, I'm not going to go through all this just for no $200. I'm just not going to do it. They will have you running around in circles. So my thing is, if you're court ordered, follow what the court is saying. If you want to do something extra out the goodness of your heart, then do that because it's still your kid, you know? But listen, don't let these kind of posts get you caught up. Oh, she just being money hungry. And well, y'all should have discussed all these name calling before y'all got to the before the judge and they stamped that date on that order. Because once they file that, that's it. What's on that paper is law. Whatever else you feeling in your heart that you want to do, and it's not according to that order, the court, they gonna tell you. They don't care what was in your heart. Because listen, they ruthless up in them child. Baby, let me tell you.
I enjoyed it.
If you ain't never been to a child support hearing,
I was cool with mine. I was because mine was more so private. And then when we were sitting there private, and then the judge started flirting with the dude, and I was just like,
they are private, but it's like when you see them in passing, or you seeing them come, or you come
the bigger one, and we went to there, and she was like, okay, so why haven't you paid XYZ? He was like, oh, I haven't. I'm not working. And she was like, this was last year. You haven't been working in all this time. He was like, well, yeah, I had gotten a job then, but then this time I was just like, dude,
they don't listen. In child support court, they have absolutely no mercy on you whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, they are ruthless and cold-blooded. I'll never forget. I was up in child support court. Man, fam decided to bring his wife. Woo! Baby, when they told her, excuse me, she thought she was going back there in the proceedings. They was like, excuse me, what do you have to do with this? She was like, this is my husband. They was like, good, have a seat out here. I'm like, see, that's the way you do it. Can't listen, because here's the thing, even as being a new wife, don't go to these folks' child support hearing. Let them hash that out because you wasn't up in that room when they was unless y'all done did a threesome or something, and then she got pregnant on then that's a different. Well, you could say, well, Your Honor, I was up in there. Yes, I do have everything to do with this. Then that's a different conversation. But leave these folks be. Let these folks figure out their parental issues. Don't be in his ear giving him all this bad advice, and then instead of being done paying child support at 18, you done at 23. It's ridiculous because you sit up there and try to dip and dodge the system and all this and that. It just does not work out.
Raphael said keep them receipts.
Keep the receipts. But again, how long is it going to take for you to get up in there? And then don't have multiple kids because all she's going to be able to do is say, this is for one of the other kids. So if you're court ordered, just do what the court says. But my first thing would be, the first solution that I would like to offer is, if you could avoid child support court, then try to make an agreement between you and the parent, because it's just too much going court. Why you gotta have a judge to tell you to take care of your kids? They didn't tell you to not right. They didn't tell you to not wear the condom. They didn't tell you to not swallow the Plan B pill. They didn't tell you not to be on the birth. So now you got to get somebody else to sort out your issues and all this other stuff. So what I'm saying is, if it's court ordered, then follow the court, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna regret that. Oh, my heart, I was listening to my heart, I had this feeling, I wanted to do it this way. You're gonna pay for that. I'm sorry, it's not fair. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's just the way that the system is set up. And I know a lot of guys that think like this. I ain't giving her no money. She ain't getting none of my money so she can get her hair done and all this and that. I'm like, first of all, if she's a self-sufficient woman and she working and she doing her own thing, trust me, your money is, she was getting her hair done before you was paying child support. She was paying her own bills before she was, getting your child support. So if you unfortunately got one of those type of women pregnant, your fault. You already knew that's what she was already on before you even had this baby. So it's like, you already know how she was giving the other dude a hard time. So now you got your turn. So it's like, can you really fault her? I mean, it's like, it ain't nobody. You just got to suck it up, take it for the team. Because you was like, you know what?
They should have made making some throat babies. That's what they should have did.
They should have been doing something because it's like now you mad because she truly is getting her hair done with your money, but you didn't have a problem when she was sitting up spending dude money when y'all was Netflix and chilling and all this other stuff, and she was buying you blunts. And you ain't had no problem when the tab was on the other dude. So now you shouldn't have a problem when your dime is on. So I'm saying when you get in messy situations like that, hey, be mindful. So guys, listen, our final hot topic, and I don't know, listen, I'm just going to dive right into this one. Is it okay for a married woman to ask her ex for some money if her husband does not have it at the moment? Is it okay to ever ask an ex, a married woman? And I'm going to say married people, period. Is it okay to go to your ex and ask for some money if your spouse is unable to do it? Is it okay? What do you think? Even if what do you think, Amir? Even if an ex-girlfriend or you got a girlfriend, but you ain't able to do it, would it be okay with you if she asked her ex-boyfriend or somebody for some money if you didn't have it?
No, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. But hey, it's like anything goes out here. So it's like if I don't have, she end up asking somebody if they have, and hey, she's gonna ask around until she get it. Hey, she might have, but she just might not want to spend it. So
you wouldn't have a problem with her asking her ex?
I wouldn't care. I mean, if I don't have it and you ask somebody else for it, then hey, stay over there with that dude. Don't come over here back to me. I mean, if he got it all, he's sitting up there slanging and banging and stuff. He just so got it all. He about to make it rain and stuff. Hey, go over there with him. Because when I'm back on my toes, you better not ask me for nothing. Nothing. I mean that.
So you said she can accept it, just don't come back.
Yeah, no.
What about you, E? Would you ever accept some money from an ex, being married or in a serious relationship, or would you have a problem with your spouse accepting money from an ex?
Is it gonna help the household? is he asking her for some money for us? Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself, get that money, baby. Go get that. Don't sleep with her. But you go ahead and get that money. Tell her we'll give it back to her on the first or whatever. It's okay.
I'm not asking no. Oh, Lord have mercy. I promise you, I am not asking an ex for no money.
You don't want to ask anything.
You know what? I
don't want to ask the bank for some money. So
You know what? I'm telling you, I'm just one of those people where, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I keep asking myself, like if you need something, I hate asking people for stuff. I hate asking people to do things for me because people always seem to say no, whereas you can ask me. I'm the person you can ask me. Listen, I'm gonna come to the Uber wherever you at. I'm not driving on the expressway. Just don't ask me to drive. But everybody that know me, don't ask me nothing regarding driving because I'm not doing it. I will be an Uber over there. You need me to come somewhere, I'm gonna do it. But don't ask me to drive. But if you need something, you need some assistance. I like to. I'm just a helpful person. I like to help, but I don't like asking people because I feel like, sometimes people, especially if it's somebody that you've done something for, and I don't like asking just because I've done something for you, and then it makes it seem like, oh, well, I'm asking you because I've done it for you. No, if I do it for you, I'm doing it for you out the kindness of my heart, and I'm not expecting anything from you in return. But I think it's so ironic that the people that you help like that, they get amnesia. It's like they forget that you've helped them and they're going to be calling, they're going to be needing help again. And they're sitting up here hesitating. Can you help me? I'm like, and see, that's how I get. Now, I know that may not be right to think.
No, I just don't answer your call.
I'll be like, wait, did they just me? And all the times, is that wrong to think like that? Like if you've helped the person out so many times and then you're finally on the end where you need something and they, well, I'm like,
all the stuff I done did for you.
Right.
And you starting to stutter.
Right. See,
okay, not a problem.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Jesse Bryan says, if the lady wants a divorce, but if he don't have it, she should. Y'all supposed to balance each other out. She's like, but I'm not asking no man, period, for no money. If it ain't offered, then it ain't for me. I'm gonna ask. Hey, mommy. I'm gonna ask.
Wait, now Juan Hendricks, he's saying
Juan
get that money any way you can.
That's Juan. Let me borrow $5. Juan. I know Juan.
Juan does not mean that.
He does mean that.
Get that money any way you can. But is he gonna have the same? Is he gonna have the same attitude that Amir had? You can get it, just stay over there.
No, he gonna give
or
it to
are
you.
you gonna let her come back home?
No, Juan, let me borrow some money.
I'm
coming. I'm on the west side already, Juan. So
listen, if you don't want to be sleeping with one eye open, I'm like, listen, I don't even have time to be sitting up here going through this with this man because he gonna ask where you get the money from. Then I'll be like, I'm got it from.
How he gonna know? We got separate accounts.
Because he gonna know that I asked him for some money and he didn't have it, and I didn't have it, so now I got it.
Say, baby,
he gonna be
see me
wanting
bake
to
a
know
cake?
Where you get it from.
Baby, didn't you see me bake a cake?
Then you gonna be like, I got it from my sister. I got it from my son. And then they gonna come back 6 months later and they gonna remember you had who you or then your family member like,
That's how you blackmail, girl. You don't let them try to pull that 6 months later crap on you. Listen, I'm getting this money from you. Don't forget that I know what you did with old boy that wasn't your husband. Okay, remember that, right?
See,
since you know that and I know that, don't forget now.
I be messed up. I'm like, I just rather not deal because I start forgetting my lies and stuff. So I'm like, I don't even. Yeah, if you tell him you got it from your son, and then 6 months later he asks you about it again, you forgot that you said you got it from your son, and then you tell him you got it from your sister. Like, oh, I thought you said you got it from your. Oh, God, dog, hold on. Let me just go pack my stuff because I'm not gonna deal. I'm not gonna deal with this.
When he asks you, you still need that money? Be like, no, I'm good. You straight? Yeah, I'm good. Well, how'd you get it? I took care of it. Don't worry about it. I'm good. And then that's it. You didn't give it to me, so you shouldn't ask me no questions. No. You didn't have it. You didn't give it to me. Why are you asking me questions? You didn't.
Oh Lord, well I'm not asking. We just gonna have to. We can if we're in a situation like that, then we have to go to a family member or something like that. But to go out and ask, and then don't let it be a slimy dude that you know he got it, and now he gonna hold it over your head. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do for me? Yeah. I need that. I'm like, oh, see, here we go with this boy. Keep your little money, okay? Keep your little money, because you're trying to get me come up missing.
Hey, don't be like that.
I'm not trying to come up missing.
Go ahead and let them do that.
I'm not trying to come up missing. They doing a case about me on the first 48, and I'm not the perperpetrator. You know, I'd be the victim that they got 48 hours to figure out what happened to me.
Raphael says, hell no. Then Cortez says, absolutely, it's okay. It's just borrowing money. Raphael says, that's right, brother. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Let's see how y'all really feel about that if that happens to y'all for real. But guys, listen, we're going to go ahead and get into our topic for tonight. Should you give ultimatums? Now, first, let's just discuss what an ultimatum is, because, you know, it's 2021. I'm trying to get deep, use big words and all this other bull junkie. According to an online source, an ultimatum is a final threat, a promise that force or punishment will be used if someone does not do what is wanted. So you basically threaten this person to do what you want them to do, but it may not be the right interest for them. So what are some issues and what are some situations in which a person would issue an ultimatum, in your opinion? What are some things that a person, man or woman, would issue an ultimatum for?
They do that stuff on that relationship stuff. You know, we've been together for 3 years now, and if you don't marry me or you don't propose to me by the next few months, then I'm going to leave. He wasn't going to propose to your ass in the first place because y'all been together for 3 years and y'all still ain't even brought up the conversation of marriage, or it's always you bringing up the conversation of marriage. So I don't like the marriage ultimatum. I just leave me alone.
So what about you, Amir? How would you feel if a young lady gave you an ultimatum in regards to marriage? Or even being exclusive in a relationship with her and you were not ready? How would you feel about an ultimatum?
I wouldn't care. I already had my stuff packed on up. I would have loved going back to my own place and lay my head there. That's what I'm going back to. I'm like, hey, Sorry it didn't work out that well, but hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Whatever.
See, an ultimatum for marriage that can be very, very tricky.
It can't be tricky. It's not tricky.
Because I'm not doing it. I'm just like, you know what? Like you said, if we've been dealing with each other, we've been together 2-3 years, and it hasn't come up, then I already know.
But some people don't. Like,
yeah, and it's like
the people who still, and it goes on both sides. It's not always just on the female side. It's majority of the females that stay in these long relationships or situations, whatever, and it's been dragged out 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and the guy finally decides to marry you. And when I was watching these two guys talk about that, they were saying that, well, they decided to marry you because the one that was for them, they couldn't find that one. So since you've already been there, they already know you, they're just settling with you. And I don't want to be with you.
Yeah,
it's been 8 years, and now you decide, okay, well, hell, the one that I really want, I can't find her, so I'm gonna just go ahead and take you. I'm not about to be your sloppy seconds and stuff. No, I'm good.
And I'm just like, don't settle for me. Don't settle for me. It's like, if I'm not the end all be all in your life, don't settle for me. I'm okay. Like, my ego is not fragile that I'm like, I can't be left alone, because again, I realize I'm not for everybody. Listen, and this is what people got to realize. You don't have to be for everybody. You just want to be for that one somebody. That's all you need to be, is for just that one somebody. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. Okay, you ain't for this dude. Fine. It's some more dudes out there. It's some more dudes out there that like what you bring to the table, or like your issue, your whatever it is. It's somebody out there. Fellas, it's somebody out there that like whatever it is that you bring to the table. So never think that because it wasn't for her, don't think that it's not for somebody else. You don't need to be for everybody else. You just need to be for that one person. So when you get to the point where you're issuing an ultimatum for marriage, it's you have your answer. Like, it's not something that they want to do. If you got to threaten somebody to do it, or, if you don't, I'm going to do this. Just go ahead on and do it.
And for me, it was when because I've done the marriage ultimatum. It was more so like, I couldn't live. We were shacking up, and I just couldn't live like that, because my self-accusing spirit was eating at me, because I knew that I'm laying with this man, I'm not married to him, my faith is eating at me, and I'm like, no, this is so wrong in the eyesight of God. I can't do this. And so I had started selling off all my stuff on Craigslist. I was like, go to my mama's house, I can't do this. I put everything up for selling Craigslist. That stuff was moving. And he was like, I can't, I know that I'm not ready to marry you. I want to marry you. I just can't do it right now. I know I can't. If I married you right now, I would make you miserable. And I was like, and so for that reason, I accepted it. I stayed offended, whatever. Though the bastard made me miserable still. After we got married, the bastard made me miserable. We had some good times at that, but some at the end made me miserable. But after that taught me a lot, just being in that whole situation. I'm not about to settle for anything. If I don't feel it, it's just not going to work. I'm going to look at how you are that first instant. If you acted an ass when I first meet you, I'm good on that. It's just nothing. I'm not believing in that. Oh, we're soulmates. We got the same, look at us. I mean, we're the same complexion. We got the same graduation and everything. We is kindred spirit. I'm out the door with all that crap. It's just not, if you show me who you are when I meet you. And if I see something about you, if I'm leery about you, I'm good. I can't do this. And I'm not about to make myself stay in a situation just because I'm single. I'm good.
Have you ever given an ultimatum?
No, I haven't.
No, me either. Again, I'm not a big fan of ultimatums. I'm just a fan of letting people make decisions. What I do is I do ask them, where are we going with this? Like, what are we doing? Yeah. I do ask that. And based upon your answer, it tells me what I need to do. So if you're not saying what it is that I need to, or I want to hear at a certain point, then now I need to prepare myself to make my exit, because I want to be married. So I'm not trying to be your girlfriend 7 years. Oh, this is my girlfriend. We still boyfriend and girlfriend 5 years, 7 years. I'm over that. Like, if you don't know that you want, and here's the thing, I really don't think that it takes men that long to know if they want
they know. They know from the instant. They know. I've heard men talk about this over and over again. They say they know when they first meet you whether or not they're going to marry you.
Absolutely.
So for you to be in a situation or relationship, whatever magical word you want to color it and make it seem pretty, but it's on some bull snap. If you're in this situation for 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they finally marry you, ladies, you're the second runner up. That's just what it is. If you want to wait and be around with this person for all this time and you just think, well, he is my king or whatever the madness you want to tell yourself, and now y'all have moved in together and now you have decided to lay down and have babies with this man, and you really thinking that the babies is going to keep him or that sex is going to keep him, none of that stuff is going to keep him, and none of that stuff is going to rush him into marrying you. Already, that stuff will rush him into marrying you if it's whatever religious organization you're in. And you done popped up pregnant because you is sleeping with this man and he don't want to get excommunicated from that religious organization, he might marry you that way. But then again, do you really want to be in that type of marriage and situation?
It's like when you're talking about marriage, it's just like that's something that you want to come freely. Now, I know that there are some people that have given giving the person an ultimatum because it gives them a push, to do something. But it's like at the end of the day, people that give ultimatums, are they actually settling? Are they cheating themselves out of what could be their real true love? Are you cheating yourself out of who could really be out there for you because you're afraid?
I don't know. You answer.
Well, it depends, because like people out here, they have like trust issues and stuff like that. So it's like, when people, they've like been through so much, so it's like 9 times out of 10 they're not gonna like be fully ready to like commit and like want like marriage and stuff like that. So it can be hard on like certain people. But like if y'all have been like like dating for like years, months, or whatever, then it can work out. But some people it might not, because like you got a good woman, you got a good man, or she can be tied so he can be a good man. They click together and this is not gonna work 9 times out of 10.
So for me, I feel like if you're cheating, I think that you would be cheating yourself because that person has reservation. They had a bit of reservation, because if they did not, they would have come to you freely. They would have asked all these things freely because that's what they wanted to do with you. But I just feel like if they don't do it, if you issue an ultimatum, maybe there's a little reservation.
But it's not always a bad thing to issue the ultimatum, because they may have the reservation, but you won't know unless you issue that ultimatum. Sometimes you may think you know everything about a person. Like Juan said that it takes months, it takes 2 or 3 years to know almost everything there is to know about a person. That right there, you'll be surprised you still don't know. So I'd rather, if I'm in this and I really care a lot about you and I love you, and we are already doing our thing, we're already living in a family unit, you've met my family, I know your family, we're around each other's friends, the whole 9, then I'm going to ask you, and you already know my intentions in the door anyway, because I'm letting you know I do want to get married again, I do want to be with my husband. But if it gets to 2-3 years and there still is no marriage, I'm going to ask you, listen, I'm going to probably give you an ultimatum like, listen, I can't do this. I cannot do this. Nope. We have played around with this for 2-3 years. You have wasted my time. If we're not getting married within the next month, leave me the hell alone.
Right.
And I'm okay. And I'm not going to say those 2 or 3 years was a waste. I've gotten to know you, and it made me know myself even more and know what I can tolerate and what I will not tolerate. So I'd rather you was a learning experience, not a problem. You just polished me up for someone else. Get out of my face.
Right. And see, with ultimatums, so now we're talking about ultimatums as far as relationships and marriages and things of that nature. But what if your mate or your spouse issued an ultimatum for you to give up social media? Would you give up your social media for your mate or your spouse, if they gave you that ultimatum, would you give up social media?
No. We're grown. No. That's just dumb. I don't like when people do that one either. Well, you not you always on your your social media and stuff, and you don't never post me up, and so I want you to take off your thing, and you talking to people and I don't know that person. Shut up, you insecure. No, don't give up your social media. That's your business. It is. I enjoy flicking through my little crazy the little rants and stuff on people's video. It's funny to me, but I'm not going to. And if you see that we're together and this makes me happy or whatever, tell me to give it up when you see that it's emotionally draining for me. So that you really want my best interest, baby. This is too much for you. It's really working your nerve. I see it tearing you down. You need to give this up. Bet. But you want me to give this up because you insecure? You can eat something. You can eat an eggplant, not the one that's on the vines, honey.
Would you give up social media, Amir?
I don't know. I probably wouldn't, because I have friends and stuff I know on there, and I need to stay connected with my friends. You better not ask me to give up my video game. I'm not giving that up. So I'm like,
video game.
if you telling me I need to give up my video game, you just better pack your stuff on up. Your toothbrush, your pen, you better pack all of that stuff, because I'm not giving that up. That's a no right there. You don't come to a man, you don't tell a man to give up his video game and something that he loves so much because you got problems and you bored and I'm not giving you all the attention and stuff. But no, I'm not giving that up. Why would I want to do that? I love playing Warzone, Call of Duty with my guys. I ain't doing that. No,
I cannot with him. I
you
swear.
always on that game. So what? Because it's mine. I bought it.
And I've seen people and young people, and I don't think it's young people, just females in general, they get upset that the guys playing the game. I'd rather have you sitting back playing that video game and posting your behind out there in the streets, and I don't know what you're doing or where you at. I'm okay with you. Did you go to work today? Are the bills paid? The bills are paid. You went to work today. This is your relaxation time. Go enjoy your game. I could care less. Go and enjoy it. Knock yourself. Can I close this door so I don't hear the noise I hear? That love you. I'm gonna bring you something. I'm good. I'm okay with that.
See, and this is why I love E, because that's not me. I would listen if we both. I'm going to give you a chance to come home and unwind, and I'm not going to be all up in your face and all this and that. But I need my time with you. I need some us time.
Well, you can play along with the men too.
Yeah, you can do that.
I don't want.
I did that.
Y'all can play together.
Because no, I don't want to play the game. I want to play games with you that have nothing to do with the controller on the game. So
you can make it that way.
That's boredom right there.
Right. See, and so I don't want to play the game. So we need our time, and then you have to have a balance. Everything is about balance. Your game should not interfere with you returning my text message.
But if he playing a video game, he in the house. All you gotta do is open up that door, babe.
All I would say is I hope that video game can do what you have to ask me to do. What they saying on social media?
Okay, let me go to Jesse Bryant. Jesse, because me and Jesse been going back and forth on the conversation. I told Jesse that men know instantly whether or not they want to marry you or not, and she says, if they knew instantly, they wouldn't have these regrettable baby mamas and miserable failed relationships. And then she also says, I love that a man plays video games. I buy video games. Juan says, hell yeah, I'll give up my social media. It's not that serious. Being with that one I love is more important than me socializing with other people on the internet. Juan also says he's not giving up his games because he's a materialistic person. He's not a lover. Juan, you know what, Juan? That's because you don't play video games, but I love your car, Juan.
But I love your truck. Yeah, I don't like the younger, like the 20-something college age people. That's but you have to learn.
It could be the grown ones,
but still, you still have to learn a balance. But this is where you learn a balance at this age, college age people. This is where you learn your balance. So nobody's saying give up your game, but don't come in. So you done spent all day playing the game. Now she in there asleep. Now you coming in there, babe. No, go back to the game. Go back to the game. Go back to the game.
You make me something to eat.
Go back to the game.
What you hungry?
I'll be like, it's in the oven.
I'll be like, I'm asleep.
Well, shoot, I'm gonna let you sleep. I'm gonna run the Domino's and give me a deep dish pizza.
That's what I'm not gonna do. You're not gonna leave the
I'm
house.
not gonna do
because I'm gonna just go ahead and be like, baby, it's right there in the oven. What do you need? But I'm not gonna get mad because you're playing video games. Knock yourself out, play the video games. Hell, you know.
Well, here's the thing.
I
When
thought you said you made something to eat. Then after that, I'm just hit you with the pillow. Cause I'm be like, hey, I'm hungry, man.
You hungry?
Well, if you don't want nothing to eat, I'll go in there fix my own self a gourmet meal.
You hungry?
Well, when it comes to giving ultimatums, just use your better judgment and just be mindful and just be prepared for the ramifications of that said ultimatum, because you know you may think that it's gonna be all peaches and cream, but what if that person really pull your bluff on what it is that you're saying you would do if you don't get the result that you want to get? So be if you don't marry me by next year, we breaking up. And if he tell you, well, why wait till next year?
I'd be like, you're right. I mean, then the least I know where I'm at, where I stand at.
So just be mindful, because if your bluff get called, just make sure you ready for. Don't let your behind write a check. Don't let your mouth write a check that your behind can't cash. But guys, listen, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, guys. Go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot Radio. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. This show has been brought to you by Delaware Inc. Follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Good night, you guys. Peace out.
Oh yeah, this should be my last night, y'all. I'm in school now, so I don't know when I'll be back. Probably in mid-March or April. I don't know. Who knows?